We got a little bit of cleanup from some of the stories from the past couple of days. I think it's the past couple of days. But in regards to those war room tweets, or Twitter accounts rather, that got taken down seemingly out of nowhere for doing nothing more than just disseminating the information from what they see on the ground and putting it out there to the public. Yeah, they got taken down. And even the ones that were just getting set up in preparation for the different audits, they got taken down as well. And we finally got a reason, like a day and a half later from Twitter. They were taken down because of the nebulous term spam. Now, how do they define spam? You think they define it? No, of course not. No, it was just taken down for wrongthink, obviously. I don't think that there's any other way to put it. I'm tired of giving these people the benefit of the fucking doubt because they prove over and over and over and over again these are malicious acts and they need to be called out as such. Twitter is claiming that the real reason it banned 6 accounts dedicated to audits of 2020 election ballots in Arizona, Georgia, Wisconsin, Nevada, Pennsylvania is because the accounts were spamming the platform. How? Why? Was there any infractions prior to that? Or is it just one of these terms of service changes that retroactively hits other accounts for discussing verboten topics? Interesting. The banned accounts included Arizona Audit, Arizona PA, or Audit PA, Audit Georgia, Audit Nevada, Wisconsin, and Audit War Room. The bans come on the same day that Congress began its partisan Democrat-led January 6 proceedings, a day after PayPal announced that it would work with law enforcement to monitor extremists, and a day after online counterterrorism organization, of which Twitter is a member of, announced it would shift its focus from Islamic extremism to the far right. White power, right? Myself and people of the same mindset have been talking about how it's going to get darker before it gets better. And this is another instance. This is another one of those steps towards utter insanity. This is going to have some unintended ramifications. Spokesperson for the company claimed the accounts were permanently suspended for violating the Twitter rules on platform manipulation and spam. Care to say why? Care to give any clarification on that? Twitter rules state that operating multiple accounts with overlapping use cases, such as identical or similar personas or substantially similar content, is prohibited. Okay, but still, you have Joe Biden's personal account, and then you have the POTUS account, and then you have the White House account, and they all just tweet the same stuff over and over again. That's fine, but then you can selectively apply those rules to different audit accounts. Are they run by the same people? I don't know, but are they disseminating different information about different specific events? Yes. So that's why this term is vague, or written so vaguely, so that they can selectively apply it. Breitbart News reported yesterday the ban comes as Republicans intensify efforts to audit ballots in swing states. The suspension comes a day after the Republican head of the Wisconsin Assembly Election Committee promised a comprehensive forensic audit of ballots in the presidential election. Via the Associated Press, the Republican head of the Wisconsin Assembly Elections Committee said Monday that she will ensure that there is a comprehensive forensic examination of ballots cast in the 2020 presidential election. At the same time, the state's nonpartisan Audit Bureau conducts a review. The broad investigation comes amid pressure from former President Donald Trump, Orange Man, sure, okay, whatever, and other national Republicans to take a closer look in Wisconsin, a state President Biden won by just over 20,000 votes. You can see why they want an audit. Now, if you take a look at the laws that were on the books, you can also see another reason why they want to audit Wisconsin. Because the fucking hand recount found some errors, found some votes that weren't tallied, but it was just that. It was just a recount. Cool. Not enough questions are being asked. And once again, it's going to be the Republican GOP and donations foot in the bill. So the only reason that they're up in arms about this is because they like to just be up in arms about stuff. It also came a day after Representative Anthony Sabatini, a Florida state representative and Republican candidate for Congress, called for an election audit in Florida's 5 largest counties, citing an all-time low of voter confidence in the integrity of the American elections. That would be interesting. Because it would be, once again, just more of the highly democratic areas. But fuck it, if you're going to be doing an audit of the entire state, just do the entire, of the 5 largest counties, just do the entire state. Fuck it, I don't care. Really, like Trump. I support Trump. I hope he runs again in 2024. I'm sure he's going to. I just want to make sure that the election process is correct. If he didn't win Florida, whatever. Who gives a shit at this point? Because nothing's going to happen. Nothing's going to happen. If all of these audits, again, like a broken fucking record, if all of these audits are completely different than what the numbers were reported on, I got to be very careful with my wordings. It doesn't mean anything. It really doesn't mean anything. All it does is shake confidence in an already questioned administration. It doesn't do anything. It really doesn't do anything. It would require impeachment of just about everybody that's out there in order to put Trump back in the White House. He's just waiting for 2024. He's using it as a campaign talking point because the base appreciates it, because they want their concerns heard, and because no court out there wanted to hear the concerns, and that still is the fucking case. We've looked at all of the major lawsuits. They were all thrown out to the wolves. They were all dismissed. One went to a discovery, and it was handled by Sidney Powell and her fucking crazy garbage. That was it. It was never one of the Trump lawsuits. It was one of those fucking buck wild affiliated lawsuits that mainstream media lumps in with the 3 or 4 Trump lawsuits that were actually out there. And they all got dismissed. Some of them were poorly crafted. Some of them were very good. Some of them went to the Supreme Court, and they all got dismissed with a single fucking line. But enough about that. More audit news. Department of Justice warns states against violating federal law with audits. Cool. Which ones would they be violating? Which ones would they be close to violating? None? Cool. Great. You're just trying to fearmonger once again. Department of Justice officials stated on July 28th that they are closely tracking the 2020 election audit because they wouldn't want any numbers to leak out, now would they? The new guidance document summarizes the Biden's administration position on federal law concerning audits, deeming the round of reviews that are either complete, in progress, or proposed to be unusual and exceedingly rare are highlighting that federal law imposes constraints under the countries and states must comply. That's what they're doing. There's been no allegations that any of the rules have been broken, okay? Katie Hobbs, waggling her fat fucking bingo wings in the air, just continues to make up allegations, and that's why they stripped her of standing to sue. Because she's a fucking nuisance. The laws cited the DOJ included the Civil Rights Act of course, everything's fucking racist. We got it. We got it, Democrats. We see your fucking play. Which mandates the retention of election records for 22 months after the federal election, K. And the Voting Rights Act of 1965, once again, just more racism. They're being racist. Which outlines that no person shall intimidate, threaten, or coerce, attempt to intimidate, threaten, or coerce any person or voting, or attempting to vote, or intimidate, threaten, coerce. Oh my God, enough already. We fucking get it. How about the people that signed all of those sworn affidavits that said they were threatened, coerced, over and over again? Those ones that were just thrown out because, we don't need to listen to them whatsoever because we already have our enshrined pick. Last but not least, National Police Association, Congress should investigate 2020 riots, not January 6th Capitol breach. God fucking bless you, National Police Association. Yeah, what caused billions of dollars worth of damage? The riots in 2020. How much damage? What was the final total? I don't know. Did anybody see that Home Depot receipt that they got after they were cleaning up at the Capitol? After all of those violent insurrectionists, which, funny thing, have you noticed that the people who have been charged, some of the 500 of them, how many of them have been charged with insurrection? I'll wait while you tally up the 0 people who have been charged of insurrection. Oh, fuck, I just spoiled it for you. Was it a riot? Sure, you can classify it as that. I wouldn't hold it against you. I like to playfully refer to it as a picnic that got a little bit out of hand, but there was a couple windows broken. There weren't even barricades knocked over. None of the art was broken. Oh, there was a couple of shoe prints on Nancy Pelosi's desk. Outside of that, what? You had Florida man try to steal the lectern from the House of Representatives. He didn't get very far. I wish he would have. That would have been a sweet living room piece. But c'est la vie. Nothing happened. Some photos were taken that day. Ashley Babbitt was shot. They'll never figure that out. We have a name. You're not allowed to speak it on YouTube, though. My video got taken down. Not because I did anything wrong. It's because you didn't think you did anything wrong, but then the day later they just switched the policy. If you want to see that video, it's still on Rumble and Odyssey. I digress. National Police Association lobbying group has said that the House hearing on into the January 6th Capitol incident is politically motivated, urging Congress to instead investigate left-wing riots that left numerous officers injured last year. Yes, we ran through a bunch of them. This was in the early days of my channel that were either shot and killed. The one name that comes to mind is a retired officer, David Dorn, in St. Louis, who was protecting his friend's business, came in to check it out, and then got shot and had it all streamed on Facebook Live. An officer in Las Vegas was horrifically crippled. He was on life support after he got hit in the head with a cinder block. Officer casualties ranged into about the 500 or so mark, and that's not them being dead or anything. Don't confuse casualty with injury to an officer, because that's the textbook definition. That's how it's always phrased. But it was substantial. And all the people that were doing all of the writing, they live in counties where the attorney generals would not charge anybody with actual writing. There was the one case, the one guy in Portland that we talked about not that long ago, who got 4 years for destroying over $46,000 of property. And he only got charged up because they were federal crimes that he committed, because Trump deputized all of the officers that were down there so they could catch them and charge them with federal crimes. Otherwise, Mike Schmidt, the DA from Multnomah County, wasn't prosecuting anybody. Let's wrap this up here. Association spokesperson Betsy Brantner Smith said in an interview that Congress should hear testimonies from thousands of officers who were injured during demonstrations, riots, arson, and other violence last year following the death of George Floyd. During the first hearing of the House Select Committee on January 6th breach, 4 police officers offered testimony saying that individuals who entered the Capitol made specific threats against them. Sure. People who need to see that police officers go through horrible things, and January 6th was a horrible thing for some of those officers, Smith told Fox News. But quite frankly, I find this whole January 6th commission, frankly, a dog and pony show. It doesn't tell the whole story exactly. Later, Smith questioned why the federal government hasn't provided more information about the shooting death of Ashley Babbitt, one of several Trump supporters who died during the incident. That's not true for reasons we've already discussed ad nauseum, or raised questions about video footage of Capitol police officers' interaction with demonstrators, inviting them in, just saying, don't destroy anything, and everybody was like, cool, thanks officer, we back the blue. Myself, like millions of Americans, sat there watching the testimony thinking, wait, where are the police officers who appeared to let some of the protesters in, she asked. Where is the police officer who shot Ashley Babbitt? We'll never know. We'll never know. In fact, why aren't we talking about Ashley Babbitt? I mean, there's so much more here. There really is, and that's not what they're going to be discussing. I like this lady's train of thinking. I think Betsy's onto something. I think that's the last time anybody said anything like that since about the 1940s, but this broad seems to be on the level. If this is all about ensuring horrific acts don't ever happen again, and we need to hold people accountable and we need to bring justice so that we can all sleep at night. How about those small business owners in places like Minneapolis, New York, Los Angeles, Portland, Seattle? All of those places that were ruined by the various autonomous zones, by the nightly rioting that went on. How about we get justice, and how about we have accountability for those people? Because that's billions of dollars. That is irreplaceable shit that just isn't coming back. No, not every business out there had their life insurance paid for. And guess what? Those people are going to be flat on their ass, because a lot of small business owners, just to let you in on something, they don't make a whole hell of a lot of money. Why do you think Black Friday is called Black Friday? No, it's not a racist tradition from American values. It's not a celebration of capitalism. It's the first time the entire year that they are a profitable business, okay? It takes that long in order for them to turn a profit. Most of the time they run on fucking loans and they run at a loss, okay? Until they maybe potentially one day fucking make it big. And then in an instant, their hard work fucking evaporates, okay? Because a lot of clauses in any of the business insurance that's out there doesn't have protection for riot or arson. That's another sad truth in all of this stuff. So yeah, investigate that stuff. Leave the fucking Capitol riot alone. We have all the footage we need. We know that not a lot happened that day. And what did happen that day will not be discussed, because it's all about finger pointing. And they need to be able to keep this issue warm, the 2020 riots, when 2022 rolls around, because I feel like instead of waiting for 2024, Black Lives Matter will be called upon once again, because the Democrats are going to be losing their ass if they don't. With that said, I thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Catch y'all later.